Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. Loving service unto the personality of Godhead, praise the transcendental songs, established as an irrevocable. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmetam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In the darkest of ignorance, this. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita I'd like to say. Maybe I'll just pull it up. Sarvasya chaham hidisani vishto matasmitir jnanam apohanam cha vedaisya sarve ahameva vedya vedanta kridveda vedeva chaham. So, I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. All the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. So anything we learn will be coming from Krishna within the heart. And he is the goal of the Veda. So the goal of our reading today is to realize Lord of the heart. Hare Krishna. So we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 18, prayers offered to the Lord by the residents of Jambudvip, and we are on text 34. And so I'm just first going to show a little graphic. I know that this section is a little bewildering. So here's like a little graphic to show. Right now we're looking at a description of, like, I believe this is the earthly dimension, right? This is the middle planetary system. And so there's these different tracts of land called varshas. And so far we've been going through all of them. And in each one of them, there's a deity who's being worshipped, like Krishna. You know, in Hari Varsha, it was Nrsingadev, and Ketumala Varsha, I believe it was Kamadev, Krishna in the form of Cupid. And so now we are going to Uttarakuru Varsha. So it's kind of like, it's like geography, but theologic. It's like geography, but each spot is designated by which form of God that they're worshiping. And so today we're going to read about Lord Bor. Jai. Can someone please read text 34?
Shukadev Goswami said, Dear King, the Supreme Lord in his Bor incarnation, who accepts all sacrificial offerings, lives in the northern part of Jambudvip. There in the tract of land known as Uttarakuru Varsha, Mother Earth and all the other inhabitants worship him with unfailing devotional service by repeatedly chanting the following Upanishadic mantra.
Okay, so this is going to be the verse we focus on today. So we can just all say this together. There's no meter for this one. Om Namo Bhagavate Mancha Tatra Lingaya Yagya Katave Mahadvaranya Mahapurushaya Nama Karma Shuklaya Tri Yugaya Namaste. Good job, everyone. So, you guys recognize any words in here? Yagya, okay, we're going to talk about Yagya today. Mantra, okay. Tattva, truth, what? Namo, okay. We see Om Namo Bhagavate. We're trying to use that. Prabhupada Priya said Tri Yuga. Okay, so the three yugas, what's happening here? Okay, so, Purusha, okay, right. Word for word. Om, O Lord, Namaha, respectful obeisances, Bhagavate, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mantra Tatra Lingaya, who is understood in truth by different mantras, Yagya, form of animal sacrifices, Kratave, an animal sacrifice, Mahadvara, great sacrifices, Avyavyavya, whose limbs and bodily parts, Mahapurushaya, the Supreme Person, Namaha, respectful obeisances, Karma Shuklaya, purifies the fruitive activities of the living entities, Tri Yuga, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full with 6 opulences and who appears in 3 yugas, remaining concealed in the 4th. Namaha, my respectful obeisances, te, to you. Translation. O Lord, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you as the gigantic person. Simply by chanting mantras, we shall be able to understand you fully. You are yagya, sacrifice, and you are the kratu, ritual. Therefore, all ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifice are part of your transcendental body. And you are the only enjoyer of all sacrifices. Your form is composed of transcendental goodness. You are known as Tri Yuga because in Kali Yuga you appear in a concealed incarnation, and because you always fully possess the 3 pairs of opulence. So, who can take a guess who this concealed incarnation is? Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right, and maybe Justin, you want to read the purport?
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation for this age of Kali, as confirmed in many places throughout the Puranas, the Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Upanishads. Summary of his appearance is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 6.99, as follows. Kali Yuge Lila Vartara, Nakare Bhagavan, Ateva Tri Yugakari Kahi Taranama. In this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, does not appear as Lilavatara, as an incarnation to display pastimes. Therefore, he is known as Tri Yuga. Unlike other incarnations, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in this age at Kali as a devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he is called the concealed incarnation, which is a Chana avatar.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Alright, so today's class will be themed on Lord Chaitanya, surprisingly. The plot twist. So, Keshava Swami on Radhashtami, he was giving this such a nice lecture. He made this point that a philosophy where the devotee cries for God is a very deep philosophy. But the philosophy where God cries for the devotee is an even deeper philosophy. And then the philosophy where God becomes a devotee to cry for God is the deepest philosophy. So that's what we're talking about today, is Lord Chaitanya. He's the most recent incarnation of Krishna in this Kali Yuga, and he is Srimati Radharani and Lord Sri Krishna in one, combined. So he advented to this world in order to deliver the fallen souls. So for this, I was thinking it would be nice if we studied a little bhajan. This one is like, I like it. Huh? Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh no. Okay. Well, it's closer now. So this song is called Parama Karuna, or I don't know what it's called, but that's what it's like. People call it. It's Parama Karuna, and it's by Lochana Das Thakur. So he is the author of the Chaitanya Mangala, and we'll read from Srila Prabhupada's purport on this bhajan, who he is, and a little bit more about Lord Chaitanya. So yeah, we can just kind of chant it together, or I guess we should do call and response. That's better. Paramakaruna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gorachandra Paramakaruna Pahudui Jana Sabhavatar Sadashiramani Kevala Nandakanda Sabhavatar Sarashiramani Kevala Kanda. Can someone read the translation, please? And then we'll read a little bit of Prabhupada's purport on this verse.
The two lords, Nitai Gaurachandra, are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduced a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful.
Okay. And then let's read a little bit from, let's read from Srila Prabhupada. Maybe pass it to Prabhupada Priya. Can you guys see this all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prabhupada says, Parama Karuna Pahu Dui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. This is a song sung by Lochan Das Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya, almost contemporary. He wrote one book, Chaitanya Mangala, depicting the activities of Lord Chaitanya. That is a very famous book, Chaitanya Mangala. And he has composed many songs. Practically all Vaishnavas, they are transcendentally poetic. That is one of the 26 qualifications of the Vaishnava. So he says that these two lords, Nitai Gaurachandra, Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga, or Lord Chaitanya, they are very merciful incarnations. Sabha Avatara Sara Shiromani. They are the essence of all incarnations. The incarnation is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that whenever there is discrepancies in the prosecution of religiosities and there is prominence of impious activities, at that time the Lord incarnates, or he descends on this material world for protecting the pious and annihilating the impious. That is the mission of incarnation. Every incarnation you'll find two things. Lord Krishna, he's so beautiful, so kind, but he is very dangerous to the demons. The demons were seeing him as Thunderbolt, and the gopis were seeing him as the most beautiful Cupid. So in the Bhagavad Gita also it is stated, Ye yata mam prapadyante, Bhagavad Gita 4:11. The God is realized in proportion to one's freedom from the demoniac propensities.
Okay, so we'll just discuss this a little bit. Did anyone catch what are the two kind of aspects of Krishna's incarnation in this world? Sarah, you can just call it out. So by beautiful, it means he's very attractive to the devotees. He's very compassionate, very, loving towards the devotees. And then he's dangerous to the demons. So we're going to talk a little bit about another thing to see here is that Krishna says whenever there's something going off, he comes, he incarnates. So Krishna comes many times, and Lord Chaitanya, he's actually very rarely does he come. He comes once in a day of Brahma, which is a very long time. Can we read this next one, and then we'll go back to it? Maybe Sarah, you want to read this?
So in this age, of course, the last incarnation, Kalki, will simply kill. Long after he will come. But here, Lord Chaitanya, his mission is no killing, simply favoring. That is the specific characteristic of Lord Chaitanya. Because in this age, of course, there is very much prominence of irreligiosity. But if Lord Chaitanya wanted to kill them, then there was no question of their salvation. They would be, of course. Anyone who is killed by incarnation, he also gets salvation, but not to the spiritual planets. But they merge into the Brahman effulgence as the impersonalist desire. In other words, the impersonalist goal of salvation is as good as the goal of salvation of the enemies of God. That is not a very difficult job. So Lord Chaitanya is very merciful because he is embracing everyone by bestowing love of Krishna. Rupa Goswami has described Lord Chaitanya as the most munificent of all the incarnations because he is giving Krishna to everyone without any qualifications. So Lo- Lochana. Lochana Dasa Thakura says that Parama Karuna Payu
Pahudui Jana.
Dui Jana
Nitai Gaura
Nitai Gura Chadra, that they are the essence of all
Chandra.
incarnations.
So we can pause here. So yeah, we see that Srila Prabhupada mentions Kalki avatar. So Kalki, he comes at the end of the Yuga cycles to kill everyone, basically, except the devotees. But by that time, there's very few devotees left, so he comes to kill. But Lord Chaitanya, this is what is so unique about him, is that he doesn't kill the demons. Does anyone know how he kills demonic forces in this age? He kills the demons in our heart. So, yeah, and Srila Prabhupada is making this point that every other avatar of Krishna, every other incarnation, whenever they kill a demon, the demon merges with the body of Krishna. And he says that this is the same as the salvationist's goal and merging. So he says this is not a very great thing to merge with Krishna. Why? Do I know why?
Maybe it means you're a demon.
Huh?
Does it mean you were a demon?
No, not necessarily. Nice people also merge with Krishna, but why do we not want to merge with Krishna's form? We want to have a loving relationship with God, and also because we will fall down from that position eventually. The soul is craving activity. So we're seeing that Lord Chaitanya, he's giving this special mercy, this special benediction, that he's taking everyone back to Godhead. Krishna, he killed so many. It's described that when Krishna was defending Mathura, he was killing like millions of people, and with just a single like bow shot, he would kill, like rivers of blood were flowing. So Krishna, he definitely killed the demons, but their salvation is different from Lord Chaitanya's mercy. We're seeing that this is actually the power of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is so powerful that he's changing the hearts of the individual, that he's cleansing the heart. I was thinking, in terms of like power in this world, we see siddhis. Siddhis are like perfections that yogis can attain. They can become super gigantic, or they can become extremely tiny, and they can, attain anything they want, and they can stretch their hand across the universe and grab something. So this is like very wonderful, and also they have ability to kill others. We see that even in this modern day society, so many people are killing other people so easily. We look at the previous world wars, and it was millions of people very easily killed just by pressing a single button, just by this or that. So these previous incarnations of Krishna, they would kill, but killing is not as powerful as changing the heart of these demons, changing the heart of these demons ourselves. And so it's actually, as devotees, as servants of Lord Chaitanya, we have this ability to do something extremely powerful in this world, to do something extremely magical, Often people are attracted by magic and witchcraft and putting a spell on this person and this and that. But actually, the most magical thing you can do is to help someone escape the cycle of birth and death. That's actually the most powerful possible thing that any individual could do, is to connect them with Lord Chaitanya. Because we see that this is Lord Chaitanya's specific potency, is that he's able to give someone Krishna prema. We'll go to the next verse. Oh, and just a small point on this. They've introduced this process of chanting and dancing. So what are we chanting? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, we'll go on to the second verse. I'll be a little quick. I know I don't want to take too much time. We'll be done by 8:15. Then we can do a discussion. Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Surveda Vishvasya Kori Vishaya Chadiya Sera Semajiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. Vishaya Chadiya Sera Semajiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. Maybe someone wants to read the translation?
My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Hare without any motive.
Okay. So now I'll just go to. So I think I can just read this section quickly. Then he recommends Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai. My dear brother, just try to worship these two lords, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Suhrida Vishwasya Kori, with faith and conviction. One should have faith in the words of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya says that go on chanting. Simply by chanting, one will get all perfection of life. So this is a fact. Unless we take the chanting, we cannot realize it. But those who are chanting, they are realizing that they are getting all desired perfection of life very quickly. So we should chant this mantra with faith and conviction. But the only qualification required in this connection, he says, Vishaya Chadiya, Sera Se Majiya, Muke Bolo Hari Hari. We have to chant with faith and conviction. At the same time, we should take care. We should be guarding against sense enjoyment. Vishaya Chadiya. Vishaya means sense enjoyment, and Chadiya means to give up. One should give up sense enjoyment. Of course, in this materialistic life, we've got our senses, and we are practiced to use them. We cannot stop it. But there is no question of stopping, but regulating it. Just like we want to eat. Vishaya means eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So these things are not forbidden altogether, but they are adjusted to make it favorable for executing Krishna consciousness. So we should not just like eating. We should not eat just to satisfy the taste. We should eat only just to keep ourselves fit for executing Krishna consciousness. So eating is not stopped, but it is regulated favorably. Similarly, mating. Mating is also not stopped, but only for begetting children. But the regulative principle is that you should marry and you should have sex life only for begetting children Krishna conscious. Otherwise, don't do it. So everything is regulated. There is no question of stopping defense also. Arjuna was defending under the order of Krishna. So everything is there. Nothing stopped. Simply it is adjusted for executing our Krishna consciousness. Vishaya Chadiya. We should not accept these Vishaya, these four principles of bodily demand, namely eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, for sense gratification. No, The politicians, they fight for sense gratification. They do not see to the good of the people. For their political aggrandizement, they fight. That fight is forbidden. But when fight is necessity for defending people, that fighting should be taken. So we have to give up this principle of sense gratification or sense gratificatory processes. So we're hearing here that the only thing that's being asked is that we have to let go of material life. We don't have to let go all the way super fast, but it's described, if the $100 bills are falling from the sky. Do you guys want $100 bills falling from the sky? Yes, okay. But if your hands are full with all these pennies, not even pennies, they're just rocks, they're pebbles, they're worthless. How are you going to reach up and grab these $100 bills, So this is the philosophy, is that anything good requires sacrifice. Anything good requires time. It requires some austerity in order to get the full result. Srila Prabhupada was saying that they've given this process of chanting, and it can only be realized by chanting. Others who do not chant, they cannot realize how this chanting is working. They just see that we're muttering the same words over and over again. They cannot understand. They have to actually try. They have to actually chant to chant. So let's go to the next one. Dekore bai tribhuvane nai emona doyala data. Pashupaki jure pashana vidare shuni jana gunagata. Pashupaki jure pashana vidare shuni jana gunagata. Vaishnav, you want to read?
Dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt.
Wow. How nice is that, right? So now we'll see what Srila Prabhupada has to say on this. Okay, I guess I'll read it. Deko deko bai tribhuvane nai. Then he says, just see that there is nobody else so merciful. Pashupaki jure, pashana vidare. By his mercy, even the birds and beasts, they are also maintained. Actually, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through the forest known as Jharkhand in central India, he was only accompanied by his personal attendant. When he was alone, and when he was passing through the forest, he touched one tiger. He was sleeping, but the tiger aroused, roaring. The company, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's attendant, he thought, now we are gone. But actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the tiger, why are you sleeping? Just stand up, chant Hare Krishna. And the tiger began to dance. So actually, this happened. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached this Hare Krishna movement, the tigers, the deers, everyone joined. So, of course, we are not so powerful, but it is possible that at least we have seen the dogs are dancing in Sankirtan. So it is possible also to take, but we may not attempt such great risk. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could induce tigers to dance. We can at least induce every human being to dance. This is such a nice movement. Jai. So, yeah, first, we're hearing that the birds and the beasts, they are also maintained. So Lord Chaitanya has this name that means maintainer of the universe. Anyone know what it means? Anyone know the name? Vishvambar. So Lord Chaitanya maintains the whole universe. How does he maintain the universe? Anyone know? He maintains it by Sankirtan. He's flooding the entire universe with this Nam Sankirtan. We hear Jagat Guru. So actually this movement isn't just on one planet. I don't know what'll happen in the future, but we'll see. And now we get to this part about the imagine that. Imagine telling a tiger, "Why are you sleeping? Get up, chant Hare Krishna." And if Lord Chaitanya can make the tigers dance, the least we can do is make the humans dance. Yeah, this is such a nice movement. All right, this is the last verse. Samsare Majia Rohili Pariya Se Pade Na Hilawasha Se Pade Na Hilawasha Apana Karama Punjaye Shamana Kahoye Lochanadas Apana Karama Punjaye Shamana Kahoye Lochanadas Nakarama Punjaye Shamana Kahoye Lochanada. Can someone please read Tulsi Saki? Is it on? I think it's on now.
But Lochan Das regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratification. Since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, then Yamraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement.
So, I missed the part. I'll just read this. So, Pashupaki Jure, Pashana Vidare. Pashana means stone. So, even the stone-hearted man also melts by chanting Hare Krishna. That we have experienced, seen. Pashana Vidare, Shuni Jara Gunagata. Simply by hearing the transcendental pastimes and characteristics of Lord Chaitanya, even hard-hearted men, they also melted. There were many instances, Jagai, Madhai, many fallen souls. They became elevated to the highest spiritual platform. Then Lochana Das Thakur says, Vishaya Majia, Rohili Poriya. Unfortunately, I am so much entrapped in these demands of the body or the senses that I have forgotten the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vishaya Majia, Rohili Poriya, Se Pade Nahilo Asha. I could not desire to be attached to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. So why is it so? So he's lamenting that apana karama, bunjaya shamana, that I am suffering the sequence of my past misdeeds, that I could not be attracted by the Krishna consciousness movement. It is a punishment on me by the Yamaraj, the superintendent of death. Actually, this Krishna consciousness movement, Sankirtan movement, is so nice and attractive. Every simple, unsophisticated person shall be attracted. But if one is not attracted, it is to be understood that he is being punished by the laws of the superintendent of death. Anyway, if we stick to this principle of chanting, then even Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, he he'll also fail to punish. That is the verdict of Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita says, one who takes to this devotional life, his reaction to past misdeeds are adjusted immediately. So every one of us should take part in this movement of Krishna consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this last verse, we're seeing the humility of Lochana Das Thakur. And he is instructing us through his own humility. We understand that he is not struggling as we might be, but we're seeing that often we are not so attracted to this movement. We are not so attracted to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. You know, we know how to chant. We try to chant, but sometimes that attraction isn't there. We just do it out of duty, and that is because of our past conditioning. It's described like the fan spinning. You know, we flip the switch, and our material life has stopped. You know, we see that it said immediately his reaction of past misdeeds are adjusted immediately. So we flip the switch, the fan is off. These past misdeeds, the fan of material life has been spinning for so long, but we flip the switch. But what happens? The fan is still slowly spinning. It has to come to a stop. So this is what we have to tolerate, is that we still have this past misdeeds that put this knot in our heart. They give us this stone-like heart. We are stone-hearted, and we have chains on our heart. But pashu paki jure pashna vidare. So Lord Chaitanya, he melts the stone. He's so merciful that he'll melt our stone-like heart, and we'll be attracted to Krishna. We'll be attracted to the Maha Mantra. So that is all for today. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Any reflections, comments, questions? Dastin Prabhu ji.
Hare Krishna and Dhrstadyumna Prabhu. How long is the day of Brahma?
I think Gokulananda Prabhu would know, right?
Divya Yuga is said to be the 4 yugas. Our
Okay.
Satya Treta
So
Dwapar.
1,000 cycles of...
That is 12 hours of Brahma's day, and
Okay.
equal is the night for Brahma. So 4.32 mil. How do you say that? In India, we say 43,20,000 years. 4.3 million. That is 12 hours. And equal is the night. That's what Bhagavad Gita says.
Yes. Okay. So we can only conceive of this mercy that we've gotten to. I mean, imagine it. Imagine the millions and millions and millions of years. And we're only 500 years away from Lord Chaitanya's appearance. He only comes once in Lord Brahma's day. I heard at noon, at lunchtime, he comes.
Yeah, 7th Manvantara, 28 Dwapar Yuga. The 14 Manvantaras in Brahma's 1 day, 12 hours. So 7th one, 28 Dwapar Yuga. He appears.
Shy. Glad we have such a
Can I make
learned
a
devotee.
quick
Yes.
comment? Thank you very much, Prabhu. It was an excellent presentation. Thank you so much. It was really nice. So you, in context of the beautiful words, Pashupake, I just remembered we had this bus party during marathon, and one of the bus parties happened to travel to this place. It was going through Jharkhand. Mystically, one sadhu from Gaudiya Math appeared on the scene and said, I can take you to the place where this pastime happened. And I was not there on that party, but it was the other bus party. So they went there, and to their utter surprise, they saw the vivid footprints embedded into the rocks, elephants, tigers, as described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So they witnessed that place, and that place is neglected, but that sadhu from Gaudiya Math, he still lives there and meditates. So, and then they took the pictures. We had the fortune of seeing those beautiful pictures. Has anyone been to that place? So this pastime happened there.
Jai, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Maybe you can make this short because it's just a question about a technical thing that I saw in the word-for-word translation. And the rest of your presentation was so beautiful and deep, but I wanted to just maybe if you could touch on this point. It mentions animal sacrifices. I don't know if anyone else caught that, but I just wanna like clarify what does that mean because we don't really do that nowadays.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. The theme of this verse was that simply by chanting mantras, we are able to understand you fully. So, what mantra do we chant to understand Krishna? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so, then the next sentence he says, "You are yagya, sacrifice, and you are kritu, ritual. Therefore, all the ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifice are part of your transcendental body, and you are the only enjoyer of all sacrifices." So it's not necessarily telling us to do animal sacrifice, but yeah. So it's included in these rituals and ceremonies of sacrifice. That's like what's being talked about, is that all the sacrifices of the Vedas are within his body. So that includes the animal sacrifices. That includes this other things. Yeah. Well, in previous yugas, they would take an animal and it would not die, but it would come out with new life. So it's not animal sacrifice like how we may think from our, conditioning of, different, fantasy things or different cultures. In the original Vedic society, it wasn't like murder of animals.
It was to practice their mantras too. So the Brahmins were taught mantras, and they wanted to make sure that the potency of the mantra was there. So they would have these sacrifices, and they would chant these mantras, and if their mantras were being chanted properly, then the animal would get a new body. So this is like their training, in a sense, and their practice is mantra minute. Testing. There we go.
Yeah. Mishra Bhagavan Prabhu?
You were saying how Lochan Das Thakur, he's just being humble. He's actually really a pure devotee. He doesn't have any of these attachments to sense gratification. He really does like to chant. But what about if somebody else, like who really has a problem, actually they don't have any attachment to the chanting, and all they want to have is sense gratification. It's the only desires that seem to run around in their head. So how can that person chant when they don't have a taste for chanting, and and all their desires are material?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm in that category for sure. So if I had the answer and then if I could apply that answer, then I would be all set. But that's that's not all of us, but perhaps a few of us, if not a couple of us. The only answer I've well, there's of course many answers, but the association of devotees that can carry us Because if we don't have a taste, but we're with someone who does have a taste, then we can almost get taste from them, in a sense. Also, there's many different answers. I'm sure you guys can also share some too. But when we become materially disgusted, then no longer will we hold on to these attachments. Will we hold on to these things which are blocking our chanting? We'll become akinchana, gochara. We don't have any more material attachments. And then we can also pray to Krishna. Please give me a taste for chanting. That might not be the highest prayer, like, oh, please make me like chanting. It's very good, but that's, for at least myself, that's the level I'm at. I can't really pray for pure devotional service just yet. Perhaps I can pray that Krishna, may I please just like to chant at least. Any other thoughts on this, Sarah? Yeah, sure. Oh, Ajit, Prabhu?
Those are good points. I was just thinking also, we could be committing offenses if we don't have taste. So it's good to look into that. And also serving devotees can help us get taste, like serving like advanced devotees can help us get taste. I was thinking that too.
I was really appreciating your point on association. I was thinking when we're conditioned, we often hang around people and we're doing it because we want to fit in. And the nice thing about being a Hare Krishna and trying to fit in is like you're chanting Hare Krishna. Like if you, I don't want to be a bad devotee, so I chant my rounds. I don't want to be known as that person or something like that. And that's like, we laugh about it and stuff like that, but that's strong. That like the people around me, I chant because I don't want to not be like them. Or for instance, if you disappear for a while, you've been around the temple for so much time and you disappear for a week and everybody comes up, where are you? Where you been? Where you? And you were like, whoa, you get phone calls and stuff like that. And so people bring you back into their circle. So association is just so powerful. I was thinking that like even in the conditioned state, we identify as I'm this or that. And we can identify, oh, I'm a devotee who does this, this, and this. And then during the process, we get purified. And eventually we understand that we're a spirit soul.
Yeah. On that point, it's very important to have the 3 levels of association, because the 3 levels are seniors, peers, and juniors. So they're kind of like an anchor for us. So the senior devotees, they'll say, where you been and stuff. But yeah, often, I find that juniors, they're so helpful in getting us to be Krishna conscious, getting us to be fixed up. Because perhaps the guru, we text him an email once a month and we say, oh, I'm doing fantastic. My rounds are amazing. And it's like, we're actually struggling. And the peers, they've just gotten used to how much Maya we're in. They're like, oh, Sloppy Joe, he's still in Maya, like that's just him. But when there's a junior, let's say you have a child, let's say there's a new devotee who's in the ashram or something like that, then it's like, don't even just do it for yourself. Do it for, those around you. Do it for your child, you want him to be in Maya too, him or her to be in Maya too, And so, yeah, it's very powerful when we have those juniors because they actually push us up in a sense. One of my teachers, he said that, or Srila Prabhupada said that his disciples, you are representatives of my Guru Maharaj. So, Prabhupada Priya, on this topic?
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was going to say, that Kalakantru was giving class in New Vrindavan over the weekend. And he said that it wasn't until he became a spiritual master himself, initiating guru, that he realized what Prabhupada meant when he said that you disciples are representatives of my guru. Because he said that when you have disciples, it's like, you have to, do everything properly because you're trying to set a good example for your disciples. And it's like when you're when you're in the presence of your guru, you want to be on your best behavior, chant your best rounds, dress really paka, be clean, well behaved. So it's the same thing that, when a guru is with his disciples, he has to, be, ideal, like be the best version of himself for their benefit. So, yeah, that point.
Thank you. Sarah? Maybe this can be the last.
This is a separate question. So, if a soul was in its past life was brutally killed, how does that manifest in its current body? And do you have like examples or stories of this?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've probably been brutally killed a few million times. Also, we've probably been to hell a few million times. We've probably been to heaven a few million times. Some more than others. But are you talking about recent?
Yes. And also in Bhakti, what is hell and what is heaven?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's interesting. We can see here in Dallas that you walk a few blocks down one way, and it's like very ghetto, huge pit bulls at every fence. And then you walk a few blocks down the other way, and it's like, wow, what is this place? It's very nice, very like posh. And so heaven and hell are kind of the extremes of those, We understand there's different planetary systems, different dimensions, and based on our karma, we will go to a more opulent life or we'll go to a more struggling life. And so the heavenly planets are still based off of karma. And so when that karma runs out, we have to leave the heavenly planets. It's still in the material world. Same thing with hell. By doing bad things, we will end up in that harsh situation, but karma is temporary. Karma will run out and we will return back to the human form eventually. And yeah, did that help? Any other? Okay, sounds good. Ventraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Yuga Dharma, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.